Hey everyone, welcome back. We're going to be talking about user flows today. So what are user flows? I see this question thrown around a bunch and people always say they are working on them but never really present them at all. So what are they? Well, user flow is essentially a series of steps like we have illustrated over here. And it is a series of steps a user takes to achieve a meaningful goal. So why do we use them? Well, you may be thinking, are these wireframes? Are these like some part of our sketches? Well, they're used to communicate the intended flow of a user through various pages and actions in an app or website. So how do we make them? Well, your flow should include a name, steps, users, and a description of what happens at each step. So I really like this quote, but Ryan Singer from Basecamp created a great shorthand for user flows, and he actually calls them UI flows. It's basically what the user sees, and then what they do, and then the next step is what the user sees next and what they are going to do next. It's really simple. But ultimately, user flows are just another method that designers are going to use to define their product experience, websites, etc. But wait. It isn't just another method. It's not just like sitemaps, or it's not just the same as just sketching. They have the ability to define sections of something abstract or technical from the perspective of the user. The most important thing about user flows is that they outline the goal your user achieves by completing the flow. So here's an example. This is a very basic user flow. Step 1, a user goes to a welcome screen. Step 2, they use a social login, maybe. Step 3, and they get instant access to the product. That is as simple as it gets. So why do they help, you may be asking? Well, they are the best way to solve the issue of communicating the way we want our products to work and the way users interact with our products. They also help us think about our product and the users who interact with it in 3 simple questions. What is the goal of this thing? So we want them to register for the product in this example. Who is doing it? Well, a general user who is external from the product is doing this right now. And how do they do it? Well, they go to the welcome screen, they use a social login, and they get instant access to that product. Let's take a look at the process in a bit more detail. Before we begin, we need structure. We need foundation. Gone are the days of creating these massive user flows that are sprawling all over the place. And they really lead nowhere, and they're hard to, just comprehend if you're not the person who created them. So step 1 is, what is the purpose of your user flow? You really need to name your flow. It's as simple as that. Give it a name that describes its purpose. That is the goal the user achieves by completing the steps. And surprisingly, people often miss this. Step 2, right here. Despite popular belief, user flows go in one direction. You don't want to be going all over the place. Limit your decision points in each flow so you can avoid crazy huge sitemaps and huge prototypes. Yes, it's okay to have multiple decision points like what we see here, and multiple prototypes and a sitemap. We'll get into that later, but when we want to convey a distinct interaction, user flows work best. That's the big difference. And why is this the case? Well, they tell a story, and it's far easier for anyone to remember than a large product map or a series of cards in whatever tool you're using, like Jira or GitHub issues, etc. The third piece of the process is they represent a complete task. To ensure that your product is organized, the scope of each flow should be a single task or a goal for your user. You shouldn't be having massive user flows that have like 3 or 4 different endings. You really want to just hone in on like maybe 1 or 2. Maybe there's a successful and an unsuccessful path over here. And ultimately, that's going to be maybe something like you've applied for something and you didn't get accepted. So remember, keep those user flows concise. If they're too short, then you fail to tell a story. And if they're too long, then they lose their meaning. Remember, your user flows should be the clearest model of your product, and you can do that if you follow the rules I just laid out.